Welcome to the Live Game, episode 146. This is the average man's perspective on football. I'm your co-host, Marcus. Join me on the panel tonight is Herman. Say what up, Herman.
Hey.
And actually, we're going to switch it up this week, see if I can get a sound effect in. Next up, we got Mark. Say what up, Mark.
Good evening.
I'm 56 years old.
We got Mark. Say what up, Mark.
Come on, if you're watching the show, could you turn it down?
Somebody want to turn the show off? Come on, Harley. Come on, Brian.
It's always one. It's always one.
And last but never least, we got Brian. Say what up, Brian.
Here we go.
Oh, Lord.
It must be the third one. It must, yeah.
I was right to get glad. Mark.
I hope you asked for a new soundboard for Christmas.
Yeah.
You gonna give me one? Y'all should put it in and give me one. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Before we get started, I want to encourage everyone to like, share, and subscribe, especially if you're watching on YouTube. You can catch us on Facebook and our Facebook group, The Lid Game. We're also at Twitter/X at The Lid Game 3 and on Instagram at the official Delay of Game. We had some good games last week. We had a lot of games on Saturday. A lot of games. And we had Thursday night games, just a lot of games before Sunday, that's for sure. I think Mark is hosting tonight, so go ahead and start us off, Mark.
I am. Thank you all for joining us. We're going to talk about some NFL news stories first. Then we get into some hot topics. Review our picks for the games last week. Picks the games for the next following week. And then we'll finish up with our final thoughts of the week. Since we're in the news right now, I'm going to throw it back to you, Marcus. Give us the first news story, please.
So, Los Angeles Chargers team president John Spanos, son of owner Dean Spanos, spoke for the first time since the club fired coach Brandon Staley and general manager Tom Telesco last week, noting there will be no limitations on the hiring searches. I think sometimes it's maybe the misses that help you grow the most that you learn from the most, Spanos said on Monday via ESPN. And I think we will always have to be pushing ourselves as an ownership to get better and to be better. Spanos took over as Chargers EVP of football operations in 2013, with Telesco being his first hire. Over 11 seasons, the club has employed 3 head coaches, Mike McCoy, Anthony Lynn, and Staley. Each hire was a first-time head coach, which could lead Spanos to seek an experienced leader for his top-heavy team. The team president acknowledged experience could be a factor in the coaching search, but added he's not going to limit the search in any way. The Chargers have won the AFC West title since 2009, and they've gone 2-3 in the postseason since 2013, and they haven't had a coach earn 3 consecutive winning seasons since Marty Schottenheimer, 2004 or 2006.
It's a long time.
They ain't won a division since 2009.
Nope. That is a long time.
That's a long time.
And what's the name there for most of them time? Philip Rivers was there for.
Yeah, they're ruining the quarterback. Or not ruining him, but yeah.
That's the only bright spot they got is the quarterback. That's it.
Yeah, but then they don't put nothing around him. Yeah.
Well, they got a good team around them. We just got a sorry coach. So they got, especially in the offense, they got weapons on offense.
Yeah, it sounds like the perfect spot for a older 74-year-old coach who may have worn his welcome out in Boston.
A defensive-minded coach too.
I don't see him. I don't see him wearing the hoodie in LA.
Well, of course you don't. I mean, there is also another coach down in Pittsburgh that would.
He definitely ain't going out there. I'm blocking that one.
Just saying.
Herman, give us the next news story, please.
All right. Chicago Bears quarterback Justin Fields drew support from teammates following a 20-17 loss to the Cleveland Browns that dropped Chicago to 5-9 on the season, with a mere 3% chance to make the playoffs. Fields completed 19 of 40 passes for 166 yards, 1 touchdown, and 2 interceptions, both of which came on Hail Mary attempts at the end of each half. On the final play of the game, Fields launched a ball into the end zone that bounced out of receiver Darnell Mooney's grasp to seal the loss for Chicago. They need to get a running game going. Stop having Fields throw 40 times.
Yeah, that was just a wild play. That was like, oh yeah, oh no. That was just crazy.
Right there in the breadbasket, and it popped on up.
And you think about it, if his momentum wasn't taking him back so far, he probably would have had a touchdown. He probably would have scored.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. All right, Brian, give us the next news story, please.
All right. One of the biggest storylines of 2023 was the Jets signing Aaron Rodgers. Tuesday, this storyline has reached an end. Rodgers suffered an injury in the first game of the season and vowed to return from the normally season-ending injury. That all came crashing down when the Jets lost Sunday to the Dolphins and all playoff hopes were dashed. Tuesday, Rodgers announced he is not going to play this season and thus leaves us his glorious stats for the 2023 season as 1 attempt, 0 completions, 1 sack, and a QBR rating of 2.4.
Terrible.
Yeah.
That's
All that hype.
Yeah. Hey, they all the chit chat and I'm ahead of progress and this, that, and thing, and we're in contention. I'm gonna be playing. Yeah, whatever.
I mean, I think it might have been a possibility if they was gonna make the playoffs, but they never was gonna. Make
His
the playoffs.
problem, there was no possibility, Marcus. You saw how bad that team was playing.
Well, I'm
And he
saying
set it
if
up
they would have
like
made it. I mean, possibility of him coming back if they would have made the playoffs, not the possibility of making the playoffs. If they had made the playoffs, the possibility of him coming back.
Yeah.
But it ain't happening this year.
Oh my,
So
Mark, what do you think about that one? Tomlin to DC. Commanders. Oh no.
No,
I had to boycott that
Yeah.
one too, Mark. I couldn't
I'm,
have
I'm,
that.
I'm blocking that
Come
one
on.
too.
Omar Epps
But-
ain't coming up this way.
But I would see more of his press conferences, which are very entertaining, I must say.
No, you can't have him, Marcus. I'm sorry. I'm blocking that one too.
Mhm.
All right. So I got the last NFL story news. The NFL suspended Pittsburgh safety DeMonte Casey on Monday for the remainder of the season and any potential playoff postseason games following his hit in Saturday's loss in Indianapolis that knocked out Colts wide receiver Michael Pittman Jr. Casey was ejected in the second quarter of Saturday's game after a vicious hit in which the safety launched himself into the head and neck area of a diving Pittman. NFL Vice President of Football Operations John Runyan issued the suspension and cited KZ's repeated violations of the on-field health and safety rules. With 8 minutes and 49 seconds remaining in the second quarter, you were involved in a play that the league considered a serious violation of the player's rules. Runyan wrote in a letter to KZ regarding the suspension. The video of the play shows that you delivered a forcible blow to the head and neck area of Coach wide receiver Michael Pittman, who was a defenseless posture. You had an unobstructed path to your opponent, and an illegal contact could have been avoided. Your actions were violent.
Take a breath.
You lost it.
Your action was violent.
He didn't make the phone big enough.
As a result, you were disqualified from the game. So, yeah, he's done. You know what? I had to go back and look at this play over and over again. I don't know if
Are you trying to say flagrant? Is that what the word you were
Flagrant.
struggling with? Flagrant.
That's pretty flagrant.
Okay.
So how would he have avoided this, man? Because it kind of looked like he was trying to go for the ball at first.
He wasn't going for no ball.
No, stop it, Mark.
That's
Mark,
right.
stop it.
What was you watching?
Stop it, Mark.
on,
You know
he went-
don't
he went
fanboy on
lower.
us. Don't
went
fanboy on us.
Honestly,
Dude, he was not going for no ball.
let me just say honestly this. I see why they did suspend him. There's no question about it. He has a history of some violent hits. I would say that. But the only thing he could do is let the man catch the ball and then touch it. That's the
No,
only
he
thing. that's the only thing to
lowered his
say.
head. He lowered his head. He lowered his head.
Both of them had their heads lowered.
Yeah, but he didn't have to lower his head. That's the thing. The Colts receiver was pretty much diving.
Yeah.
he was Kazi. How do you say his name? He was in control of his body. He lowered his head. It was
KZ, Demonte
KZ.
KZ.
Don't fanboy us. Don't fanboy us tonight. Okay. You can't defend that one. I'm sorry.
But he got suspended because of his record.
His history, yeah.
His history.
Yeah.
It goes back to Atlanta. When he was in Atlanta, it goes back to that.
You got to learn. You got to learn to change your game. If you're not going to change your game, they should suspend. That could have been tragic. That hit, in all honesty.
Did you hear what Tom Brady said about it? That the quarterback sometimes could help out by not throwing those suicide passes. To be honest,
yeah, that's true. That's very true. I was just, when he got up, I was glad to see him walk off that field for real. I was like, okay.
I was amazed that he got up so quickly.
Yeah, I thought we was going to look at another backboard, ambulance, all of that. I thought that was coming. So
yeah, I would agree. Yeah, I would agree. All right, so that ends our news stories. We're gonna get into our hot topics. The first hot topic: as of 2023, quarterbacks have been the NFL MVP award the most, with 46 wins compared to 13 running backs, 4 for fullbacks, 1 for halfbacks, 1 for kickers, 1 for defensive tackle, and 1 for linebackers. Quarterbacks have won 68.5% of MVP awards since 2003. Only 3 non-quarterbacks have won the award. Sean Alexander, LaDainian Tomlinson, Adrian Peterson in 2012. Has the MVP basically become a quarterback award? Should the NFL do like the college and give awards to every position to make it fair? Brian, I'll let you start this one off. Should it be given to the best player, or do like the colleges do it and give it awards to position players?
I'm not really for the college part of it, but I do agree that the NFL and the voters need to open their eyes a little bigger, and not try to just focus on quarterbacks. It is a little ridiculous lately how the quarterback consistently wins it. I understand he has the ball in his hand the most, and he has the most opportunity to be successful. But if you look at some of these teams, the quarterback is really not the MVP on their team. So I don't know why they would be leading in the votes. Primarily what I'm talking about is the Niners. In my opinion, McCaffrey's the MVP on that team. I think McCaffrey does everything. I think McCaffrey makes the game easier for the quarterback when he's on the field. I think the defense has to key in on McCaffrey a little harder. I think that the quarterback gets easier reads. I think that right now he does everything. He runs, he catches. He's even thrown a couple touchdowns. So for him not to be the leading vote getter on the quote-unquote best team in the NFL is kind of sad. I also think that, some of the wide receivers like Tyreek Hill should definitely get more notice. You see the change in that Dolphins offense when he's not on the field. It's fairly obvious. So I feel like the league should either broaden their horizons, come up with better people to choose who's making this decision. A lot of times it is the quarterback, but like this particular year, I just don't feel like the quarterback is the one. So hopefully they'll pick out somebody different.
But you will agree you don't want to go to the playoff.
No, again, it's a most valuable player. I don't think we need to go to each position. I think it's just getting a little redundant. Let's just have the most valuable player and let's just do it the right way.
Well, in college they do have the Heisman, but they also have awards for every position.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's because you have so many college teams, though. That's probably why they do that too. There's a lot of college teams out there. So.
I'll open it up for you, Herman. What you think about it?
Yeah, I'm in agreement with Brian, actually. I think the problem is the voters.
Yeah.
I think they may need to look at it and revamp it and maybe either players vote or Hall of Famers vote. Forget these media people. Forget these. Some of them, I guess, are ex-players, but they're not in the game right now. A lot of them, these people who vote, they're not even credible media people because they don't even analyze the game the right way anymore. They just say what they want to say to get the headlines and stuff. So I think they should take the voting out of their hands and put it on. Let the players vote. Actually, the people who play against these guys and play with these guys, let them vote. Because the voters you have right now, it's like it's tunnel vision, it's quarterback, and then maybe somebody else. And I get it. The quarterback has to have the ball in their hands the whole time. A lot of things go through the quarterback. But like Brian said, you take McCaffrey off that team, Brock Purdy's not doing what Brock Purdy is doing. He messes with the coverages and everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, he affects how they cover the receivers. You got to change it up. And I think the way to do it is to change the voters. I think because, like Brian said, the voters are too lockstep when it comes to it's the quarterback first, and then we'll consider somebody else. So that's my opinion too. I agree with Brian. And yeah, I don't think you should break it off into different positions either, because then you're just looking at it's just like college again. Like, you know what I mean? It's like Brian said, it's the most valuable player. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with you two. You got to lead. The best player is the one that gets the MVP. We talked about what's called. Ain't Pro Bowl voted among the fans?
The fans, the players, and coaches.
So why don't we make the MVP voted among fans?
Not fans. Fans shouldn't.
Yeah, not fans. Yeah, you'll still be the same. You'll still get
coaches and players. I could agree with that, but not fans.
Fans are just going to vote for their players. They're not going to be.
They'd be too biased for their player.
That would be fair because a Cowboy win it every year. So
I don't know about that.
No, because it's only a third.
If we let the fans vote,
it's only a third. It's only a third of the voting. So if that was the case, Cowboys would always be.
Who votes for who gets on the cover of Madden? Let's let them do it.
You know what? That would you know what? They be quarterback heavy too. They be
I don't know. They had running backs too.
But they got way.
They should open up a little bit. It's a little bit open.
They had All-Star on there one time. They had what was that Cleveland running back that had the one good year?
Oh, that one. Oh, the white guy.
Yeah,
Peyton Hillis.
Hillis. They had him Peyton one time.
But yeah, I would agree. I don't like the college giving all the position. It's just that's just too much. And I think the fact that they have so many players in different teams, you kind of could do that in college, but not the NFL. I think I think it's you got to go for the best player for MVP that you no matter what position that he's in. I don't think that you open it up to give everybody a position, the awards. But yeah, I agree with you. I
like the comment that Eric Johnson just said. How about the all pros vote?
That's possible.
If you've been elected to an all pro team in the past, it has to be somebody besides some of these media people. Like, I'd be surprised the people who be like, "Oh yeah, I'm a voter." Like, what? Why? So yeah. Something
Marcus.
should change.
Marcus, you finish.
I do believe it has become basically a quarterback award. They very seldom look for anyone else to to have some of the players that we've had that never. I actually at one time I don't know why I thought this. I thought one time Ray Lewis had won MVP, but he didn't. I'm like, how did he not win an MVP? You guys certain, if you're gonna say somebody's generation talent and they've never won an MVP, it's crazy to me. And you can't say that was the 2000 year they won the Super Bowl, he could be considered MVP because when the offense didn't even score for 5 games and they still won those 5 games off of defense. That's just crazy. I think a better alternative would be each team, they vote on who they think their team's MVP is. And out of that pool of 32, maybe you can pick. They can pick. I think that would be better. I think it would be more fair because a lot of times quarterbacks are the MVPs that year, but like I think this year is one that the quarterback. I don't think quarterback should really win it. I'm more with the Tyreek Hill winning it. Like Brian said, Christian McCaffrey. If a quarterback wins it this year, then I really think it's a joke.
And Marcus, you bring up a good point because just like, had Joe Burrow or some of these other quarterbacks not gotten hurt, they would have definitely been in there in the question. And then their teams are still being successful with them injured. The Cleveland, a couple teams are still being able, even Indianapolis, I know that they had a rookie quarterback, but the teams are still being able to progress without that quarterback being there.
Yeah, but I don't think it's it's fair at this point. It's just like I said, this year he left. This year the quarterback wins.
Something was under my foot.
This year for quarterback winning, I think it'll be very obvious that their quarterback bias. Because like I said, right now I think it's either Tyreek Hill or Christian McCaffrey. But then a lot of people say, well, if Tyreek Hill wins it, well, who was the quarterback throwing to him? It was Tua, so maybe he should win it. Which I think is ridiculous.
Because those are the easiest throws in the game.
Yeah, I think it's still to be correct.
Are they though?
Man, he'd be wide open, Herman, 3 or 4 yards before the receiver. He don't throw no tight window throws to
Did you see the one throw he threw? It wasn't a tight window, but he actually placed the ball where Tariq had to catch it a certain way. But Tua actually placed the ball in the right spot. Tariq thought it should have been somewhere else, but then when they went back and looked at the video of it, Tyreek Hill actually apologized to him and said, "You know what? I was wrong. You was right. You placed that ball where it should have been."
That was against the Commanders.
Yeah, it was. It was against the Commanders. Yep. That was that one he caught like a Hank Aaron basket catch. Yeah. Oh, sorry, Marcus.
You was a little too vocal with that response. Why don't you quiet it down?
And then too, a lot of those Tyreek Hill things are just little screen passes in the backfield that he just breaks out and blows everybody by the way. So.
But
they can say the same thing about Purdy and McCaffrey.
Yeah, that's why I don't think Purdy should be it. I don't think Purdy should be the MVP.
I think McCaffrey though, his running too is there too.
Yeah.
So I would give it to McCaffrey if you're not going to give it to a quarterback. But at the same time too, we shouldn't punish quarterback like Dak. Not just because I'm a fan, but it's not his fault that the other quarterbacks aren't playing well. You take Dak off of Dallas, and Dallas is not 10-4.
Yeah,
the
only thing as I can say is how many games has McCaffrey been shut down? I want to say
not a lot.
Yeah,
There was one he didn't get a touchdown. Remember they tried?
Yeah, one he didn't get a touchdown because they was trying to get it to him at the end.
Hmm.
He still goes to pass. He still go pass in that game, but not really.
Yeah, he's been the most consistent between him and I can't think about how bad Tariq had a bad game or not, but they've been fairly consistent every game. And Dak has messed up a couple games.
When? What game did he mess up?
He wasn't that great.
I just watched Sunday. He wasn't great Sunday,
but
he wasn't great against the Niners.
He wasn't great.
I'm just saying he wasn't MVP material. He did struggle.
MVP quarterbacks do have bad games. They're
not MVP quarterbacks.
Yeah, no, I just did say that. I said yes, MVP quarterbacks do have bad games too.
I don't remember.
There's history of it.
Okay.
I read an article on it, so I was reading about it. But
all right.
I'm just saying. I mean, I see what you're saying.
Hear you.
Again,
okay.
Don't punish Dak because of the other quarterbacks. Don't use that argument. That the other quarterbacks aren't doing that great. Don't use that argument. I
was just saying Dak wasn't doing that great, but.
Enough for the Cowboys.
Remember, the most valuable player of your team. Oh, sorry. Okay.
Next hot topic. This does not give me great pleasure on this story. This is like we've been in the news all this week on bad things, but after being seen not blocking on a Jaylen Warren run, who got tackled on the 1 yard line inside the red zone, should the Steelers bench George Pickens? And if so, how long? Marcus, I'll let you start this one out.
I'm going to say no. At what point? I mean, at this point, you dying every game. You got to win. So you already got Trash Biscuit back there as quarterback. So you can't. You don't want to cripple the dude anymore. He's already crippled by taking one of his best receivers out of the game. I think a better question. And I know you hate to hear this, Mark.
He wants to do a better question.
He wants to change the right.
He could have just changed it.
I think a better question is: has and I hate to say this. You know, I hate to say this.
I know what you're gonna go. Go ahead. Say
Has
it.
Tomlin lost the team? This is the second time this year. Did another wide receiver do that too? Devontae, what's his name? Deontay, whatever his name is.
Deontay Johnson had an issue where he didn't. He gave up on an interception. Yes.
Tomlin seems to have a lot of bad luck with receivers. You know, with AB and then Pickens, and maybe it might be time for Tomlin to go ahead and slide on down here. You know, down that way.
Why would anybody go to that trash team? I'm sorry.
I'm just saying. It's you know,
Hey,
I'm not perpetrating this talk, but you know, after that loss against the Patriots, you know, fans in Pittsburgh, they've been coming for Tomlin's head. And
they coming.
You know, and we all know that if he did get fired, he'd have a job the next day. He would only be unemployed.
It'd be like a mutual parting of the ways.
Yeah, can I go next to rebut what this dude just said, please?
Oh, wait, let me finish.
You can. Yes, you can.
Let me finish. I'm not finished. Let me finish.
Okay, Herman.
I don't think there'd be any reason. There'd be no point spending. You need everybody you can to try to sneak your way into the playoffs this year. But like I said, and maybe the question you might want to ask you is, you know, has Tomlin lost the team?
So is that the question we're asking, or are we answering the original question?
No, we're asking about benching George Pickens right now. That's what we're asking. Herman, what you had to say, Herman? Go ahead.
So, no, Tomlin has not lost the team. Omar is fine, okay, first of all.
He still got the juice, don't he, Herman?
Yeah, he still got the juice. The bigger problem is it kind of goes to the character of the players y'all are drafting at this point.
Who's drafting the players?
Well, that's the GM. I'm sure that there was some film of Pickens doing this same crap in in college. I guarantee you that.
Yes. He got in trouble in college. He did.
There you go. So it's not like it's not a known thing for this dude to do that. Should he be suspended? I don't think you can afford.
He said benched. He said benched.
I'm sorry. Well, same thing. Benched again. I don't think you can afford to do that at this juncture because you're fighting for that playoff spot. I'm going to not start him. That's one thing to show the team I'm not playing around. I'm going to keep it internal what I'm going to do because he's the type of player that if you let it get out into the media, it's probably going to get worse before it gets better. So if anything, change up your some of your play packages so that you don't have that bum out there trying to block when you want to run the football. Because you know he's not going to do it. Like, I mean, it's not the most ideal thing, but I mean, and Brian knows this. Dallas always came out with Noah Brown. We knew we were running the football with Noah Brown because he was one of our blocking wide receivers. Okay, you're not really necessarily paying him to be so much the blocker, but he's not enough of a superstar to do what he did. That was pathetic. I think, in my opinion, the team should be handling that internally. Because somebody should be digging into to be like, yo, you need to be blocking for your players. We block for you. You need to block for us. So, no, I don't say the coach should bench him, but he needs to have a talking to. And no, Tomlin has not lost the locker room. He still has the juice, like Brian said.
Now, I'm gonna say Pickens is 100% non-apologetic through this whole matter. His quote was, he didn't want to risk injury because he was a fear of having the same injury that Tank Dell had in that game against Houston. Remember that play was a pile-up play. It had nothing to do with going down the field laying a block. He didn't do his job, as far as I'm concerned. He needed to do his job. He needs to do his job. Coming out of the draft, he even dropped from number one first round. Because of his issues he had in college. So, yeah, I think you need to make him inactive for one game. I do. I would. Apparently, Tomlin needs to do something because whatever he's doing right now ain't being effective. It ain't working. He needs to do something to get through to him. He's young. He's not mature. And he's talented. You've got to grab it right now. You got to nip it in the bud now. If you don't, it ain't gonna do no more festering something much worse than it is now. But yeah, I agree that I think you should set him for a game at least. we ain't going far in the playoffs, y'all. I ain't gonna kid myself with that. We might don't even make the playoffs.
I was. That's what I'm like. Y'all going to the playoffs?
Yeah, we might not be there. So it's not gonna. I mean,
wait, y'all haven't been eliminated yet.
not yet, but
He just seems like the type that is not going to learn from a benching. I think it needs to
don't
come.
think it
I think it
would?
needs to come from his own. Something needs to come from his own players. Something, you know what I mean? I think it'll make it worse. I think it'll make the he seems like, because like you said, he's unapologetic about this. He's one of them types, one of them young bonehead types where he's not going to get it, and it's just going to make the relationship even worse.
Reporters talked about this in camp this summer. They were talking about how he started to have this prima donnas way about himself, and you know, in camp. So yeah,
he ain't even done nothing to
no, not yet. He's still no.
Yeah.
Brian, what you think about it?
We're all in accord on this one, except for Marcus. I don't know what he's thinking. You don't let wide receivers not do their job and still let them play. You're going to run a mockery of your team, sir. So their discipline must be had. At a minimum, a game. At a minimum, a quarter.
Yeah.
Maximum, more than likely, I agree with Mark. I think he gets suspended for a game. I think you go into his pockets. You don't want to play, you don't get paid. It's pretty simple.
How can you suspend somebody for that?
Yeah.
Conduct detrimental to the team.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or you could just make them inactive. You can inactivate them.
You could just make them inactive.
That's what you do. Inactive. Yes.
Yeah. So it's not.
So yeah, there are ways to think. I mean, you're taught to block. You've practiced in blocking. You knew what the play was. It's running plays. Receivers are an intricate part of that play to be successful, especially if you want a big run. So yeah, no, you sit your little tail down and you relax. I was trying to find a quote that Tomlin had said earlier in the season when the receiver was complaining about playing time or something like that. I forgot what he said, but it was very poetic. But I couldn't find it. Mark was too short.
Was it this year or last year? He said,
no, it was this year. It was this year. It was earlier.
Was it this year or last year? He said it.
It was this year, and it was earlier in the season. Something to the fact he has more important things to do than to be worried about what this wide receiver is complaining about. But he had a nice little quote. And then, long story short, you talk about Tomlin, but Tomlin. I mean, he's had a history of diva wide receivers. I mean, I just grabbed the list real quick. I mean, Santonio Holmes. You remember what you say, Marcus?
I said that he had
Santonio Holmes?
No, I said he had a problem with wide receivers.
Yeah, he had a problem with AB. Even before Santonio Holmes, the guy he went to the Giants.
Plexico.
Plexico Burress.
Plexico Burress. What's Plexico with him?
What happened to what happened to all of them? They got shipped out.
Yeah. So you definitely set the tone. And this has just been a bad season. Again, bad choice of quarterback.
Definitely
creates a bad atmosphere. The defense can only do so much. You can't get the running game going. So it'll just be a reboot for Tomlin, I'm sure. Y'all don't get all excited about him coming to DC because I don't see that happening.
Not happening. Pittsburgh doesn't get rid of their quarterback.
Yeah, Pittsburgh don't get rid of that.
Not on my watch.
But I would just like to say, if Tomlin is watching, come on down.
Why would he ever come there though? Like,
Herman, you gotta admit they got a new ownership. They got a lot of money in the cap coming up this year.
And we've seen
they're going to have a high draft pick.
Bro, they have to prove to me. I've heard this, seen it. Watched this movie before, and I've seen how this movie ends.
Yeah, but the majority of the time you watched it with
Dan Snyder.
What was his name? Snyder.
Yeah, and until the new ownership proves, like until they prove to me, I'm still watching the same movie.
You guys, I will say this: Belichick can keep his ass on moving.
No, that's who y'all probably need.
That's who probably end up being here. Belichick.
That's too much. That's too much of a recollection. Too much work. Too many times.
I already know.
Belichick is already getting ready to push 80. I don't think he's gonna live long enough to fix the Redskins.
I'm gonna tell you now. I already know what your owner's gonna do. Bieniemy is your next head coach, and be happy for that. Because
you think so?
he's got. I mean, I kid y'all and dog y'all about Sam Howell, but what he's got Sam Howell doing with what y'all have in place. Imagine if he gets something in place and Sam Howell stops getting sacked.
I don't know, Herman. You must not have watched that last game.
I think Bieniemy can.
They still don't have. They don't have an offensive line. They don't.
That's what I'm saying. I think Bieniemy's your
They-
next head coach. I mean, if I'm the ownership, I think I'm giving Bieniemy the shot. Even if I'm not going with Howell, and I know I have to get a quarterback. Looking at how Bieniemy worked with Patrick Mahomes, and I'm not going to sit up there and take credit from Bieniemy and say it was all Andy Reid. I want somebody that can.
Well, you see what Kansas City doing once Bieniemy left.
So
Yeah,
you're saying
starting to
Patrick
make you
Mahomes
wonder.
sucks now? Is that what you're
No.
saying? You saying
No,
oh, okay.
I'm saying that the offense is not.
But the
what it
offense
was.
is not what it was.
So you think Bieniemy would have changed the way their offense is playing this year? You really think he would have been the difference?
They got the same receivers, same quarterback, same tight end from last year.
What they do
They
last
don't
year,
have the
Brian?
same receivers.
What they do
They
last
don't
year,
have the
Brian?
same
They won a Super
receivers.
Bowl.
What they do
They
last
don't
year?
have the
Just
same
so I'm saying,
receivers.
who'd they lose? They lost one receiver and
No,
and
they
interplaced
lost
him with somebody
Julio
else.
and they lost what's his name? And the other guy's a rookie.
Julio.
I'm sorry, not Julio. Juju.
Juju.
Okay,
Juju.
where's Juju right now?
Where
Have
is
you
New
heard his
England?
name on season?
Exactly.
New England,
yeah.
He's not doing nothing.
No.
So yeah, losing him was not.
No,
Was
I think you might have to start giving some of the credit to Bieniemy because the offense is
I
not
don't
what it
think
was last
Bieniemy
year.
has anything to do with it. I think they just need receivers that can catch the goddamn ball.
They got the same receivers they had last year,
They need
Except for
playmakers.
Juju.
except for
You
Juju.
call the plays you want. If you don't catch the ball, it don't make a difference.
They need
Well,
playmakers.
you know what it is?
Say it
You
again,
know what it
Mark.
is?
They didn't have playmakers last year.
Playmakers.
No. Let me tell you what it was. You hear about how everybody complaining about Bieniemy too hard. That's he's not there to be harder than receivers in freaking Kansas City. So now
Yeah, y'all are right.
Kadarius
Y'all-
Toney doing all kinds of stuff.
Andy Reid is just a puppet. He's an idiot.
No,
He has no
nobody
offense.
is saying that.
Of course,
But
it was Bieniemy all
nobody
along.
is saying
It was
that. But what I'm
Bieniemy
saying is
all
that
along.
Bieniemy should have gotten some of the credit for what he did with Mahomes, and that's
Agreed.
why I said Washington it should keep him and make him their head coach because he knows how to work with quarterbacks. I'm not taking anything from Andy Reid, but what I'm saying is let's not overlook the value that Bieniemy brought to that team because obviously he did. He brought value to that team.
I don't agree. I totally disagree.
Good hot topic, fellas. Good job. We're gonna move on to our games of the week.
Good Lord, y'all are long-winded.
Shut up.
Who's y'all? You is y'all. Y'all is you.
You the one that talked that much. Damn, we lost
You
us.
is
We
y'all.
lost the
Y'all
host.
You is y'all. Y'all is you. Okay.
No, you is you. You is Marcus, and you is long-winded.
Whatever.
All right, we're gonna talk about the first game of the week that we picked. The Steelers take on the Indianapolis Colts. Steelers lost it 30-13. Stats in the particular game.
Wait, what?
Yeah, Mitch.
Wait, what? That
Say
wasn't the
what?
first game, was it?
That wasn't
Start with
No.
Thursday
the
night
first
game.
game.
My man just jumped right there. He fanboying out today.
Yeah, but why did he jump in the game? That's the question, though.
He jumped
Chargers
all the way
Raiders, sir. Chargers
three
Raiders.
games.
I
Good
thought that was
grief.
the first game.
No,
No,
Chargers
that-
Raiders.
Mark, y'all played
Okay.
on Saturday at like 4:00. What are you talking
Okay,
about?
I'm sorry. Chargers Raiders. I got to go to stats and Chargers Raiders.
Everyone,
Y'all
due
want,
to technical difficulties, we are having technical difficulties right now.
y'all want to do Chargers Raiders?
Mark has already started Christmas break, obviously. You know, he's
I
mentally
mean, we
checked
can
out.
talk about that game if you want to.
Yeah, we
Damn.
can
Okay.
talk
Oh, you
about
know what? He tried to jump over the one he has to wear the hat on too. That's what that was.
Chargers Raiders.
it. That Raiders.
The Raiders won it. The Raiders dominated 63-21 against the Chargers. The stats of this particular game.
You gotta talk about this game, honestly.
He-
It was that bad.
Easton Stick was the quarterback for the Chargers. And you're like, who? He was 20 for 32, 257 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. Isaiah Spiller, 16 carries for 50 yards. Joshua Palmer, 4 catches for 113 yards, 1 touchdown. For the Raiders, Aiden O'Connell, 20 for 34, 248 yards, 4 touchdowns. Zaire White, 17 carries for 60 yards, 1 touchdown. And Devontae Adams, 8 catches for 101 yards and 1 touchdown. Marcus, who did you have in this game, sir?
I mean, you already know my stance on the Raiders. On the Chargers, even going into this week. I knew the Raiders were going to win. I didn't know the Raiders was going to win. I didn't know the Raiders was going to win like that. But it was enough to get him fired. You know, when you have 4 lost fumbles and 1 interception. I mean, that game was over like first quarter. I looked up
42. They scored 42 points in the first half. So yeah.
And what did I tell y'all? Can I get my credit for what I said in the group chat at the end of the first half? I think I said it at the end of the first half.
Yeah.
No, I think you said it before then. You said it before.
Okay, I might have.
Yeah.
And then I co-signed it at the end of the first. I co-signed it at the end of the first. I was like, yeah, he about to get fired because ain't no way. But you know, especially you got all that power. You got offense. You got a generational quarterback. You got defense.
Thank you.
And you a defensive coach, and you still, you know, this season the only coach you get beat that bad by still lasts is Sean Payton because he just got there.
Right.
It's Sean Payton. You don't have Sean
And
Payton.
they were trying to let him do that too.
You don't have Sean Payton credentials, so you know. Now I hope we ain't gotta pick him no more because now I don't have an excuse. I had to pick him if Staley and since Staley's gone, I can't go with my default go to. But of course I picked the Raiders, and I was
Herman
right.
got a default.
I got a default. You can pick right up on my default.
Herman, who did you have?
Who's the offensive coordinator for the Chargers? Kellen Moore. Then of course I picked the Chargers.
but he's still there, and he didn't get
Yeah,
fired.
he's still there, and that's why
He didn't get the coaching job though, but he's still there.
Right.
He's still there.
Who they
There you
named the
go.
interim coach? Who they named the
The
interim?
linebacker coach. or
Linebackers
something?
coach or something.
Yeah. I picked the Raiders, and I got this one right. And again, I will not pick the Chargers if we're picking them. I won't even pick them next year. I'm not picking them next year. I'm going to put that down for next year, too.
You'll go that hard?
Yeah, I don't even know who the head coach is yet. But I ain't picking
Suppose
him.
Belichick goes there next year.
I still ain't picking him.
What if Kellen Moore's gone?
I
It'll be you know who'll be there if Belichick goes there.
I ain't picking them for the first couple games. How about that?
You know what? I still wouldn't pick him because if Belichick goes there, it'll be Josh McDaniels as the OC.
Oh, yeah, there you go. So I'm not picking them either. There you go.
He's a good offensive coordinator. He's just not a good head coach.
I don't care.
Hey, I took the Raiders in this particular game too. I mean, it was the Chargers. I mean, they're not living up to their expectations at all with it. Justin Herbert was their only bright spot, and he got hurt. The thing that killed me about the Chargers were they have a loss by a combined of 55 points so far this season. On Thursday Night Football, they have lost by 42 points. They are terrible. That's a terrible team right now. I took the Raiders. Brian?
Yeah, we were all on the court. We all knew what the writing was on the wall. We just didn't know that the team was going to quit this bad. Okay, Marcus brought up the turnovers, and you ain't getting all those fumbles. Okay, 5. Okay, the Raiders defense is not that good. Okay, I don't care what you say. All right, they fumbled this ball to get this man fired. Okay, they played this atrociously because they knew this was the only way they could get him out of the building. So congratulations to the team. Y'all were successful in getting your head coach fired, but y'all basically quit. You know you quit.
I mean, he lost his locker room.
He did. He definitely did. And poor Easton Stick out there getting beat up and banged up because the offensive line ain't protecting him. But I had the Raiders.
Put it
All right,
on,
we're
Mark.
moving on to the next game. We had the
No.
Minnesota Vikings.
No. You have to spin it, sir.
Yes, sir. Spin it.
Can't see it spin that good,
See
can
it
you?
spin.
That's okay. We know you're doing it. That's all that matters.
Can you see
You
it?
may
man?
continue.
Can you see it?
We know
Yeah.
you suck. We know you suck.
We had the Minnesota Vikings in overtime losing to the Cincinnati Bengals. This was actually a good game. It didn't start out that way, but it ended up being a good game. Nick Mullins, 23 for 33, 303 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Ty Chandler, 23 carries, 132 yards, 1 touchdown. Jordan Addison, 6 receptions, 111 yards, 2 touchdowns. For the Bengals, Jake Browning, 29 for 42, 324 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Joe Mixon, 10 carries, 47 yards, 1 touchdown. Jamar Chase, 4 catches for 64 yards. Herman, who'd you have in this one?
I went with the Bengals on this one. I think the Bengals have definitely found them a backup quarterback in Browning. He's out there actually playing. This was a pretty good game. But yeah, I picked the. I'm gonna keep it short. I picked the Bengals and got this right.
Brian?
Yeah, I was with Herman. I picked the Bengals, and I don't know, Herman. He might not stay a backup as well as he was playing. Wasn't looking that good in the first half, but he lit it up in the fourth quarter, putting up 21 points, and then another field goal in overtime. Man, it was an entertaining game. I had also, like I said, I picked the Bengals, and they picked that right.
Marcus?
Yeah, I also picked the Bengals. I kind of agree with Brian. If if he gets into the playoffs, Jake Browning probably won't be there next year. Somebody, people be loving to give the backup quarterback a starter position.
He might be under a contract though.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, I also picked the Bengals. Like Brian said, he wasn't looking that great in the first half, but he got to it in the second half. 324 yards, 2 touchdowns, 42 attempts is a lot. But hey, they must have confidence in him.
Yeah,
So
that's the only thing they should cut down.
yeah, but yeah, I picked the Bengals.
Yeah, I guess you guys will see I'm wearing this hat because I took the Vikings. Nick Mullins threw 2 interceptions, one in the red zone, and the other one was on Cincinnati's 22-yard line. Both that at least took away 6 points from him. Jake Browning was cut by the Vikings earlier in his career, and then that was his comment. He said to one of the cameramen, and they shot in the camera, "They shouldn't have cut me." That's what he told him.
Yeah.
But yeah, he had a fantastic. That last drive was a doozy. To get him down there, that 44-yard pass play to Boykins to get him, in the field goal range. But yeah, I took the Vikings, and I got it wrong.
And Mark, you brought up a good point too, because you remember they lost Chase in that game in the fourth quarter.
Mm-hmm.
So for him to still be able to do it without Chase on the field was pretty remarkable.
Yeah. Kudos for him.
Spin it, sir.
Take this stupid hat off. All right. Next
Next
game,
time,
I feel
just follow my lead, Mark. Follow my lead.
I should be wearing this hat for this game too. But the next game we had the Steelers taking on the Indianapolis Colts. Finally, Steelers lost it 30-13. Stats in this one, which is not terrific. Mitch Trubisky, 18 for 23, 169 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. Jaylen Warren, 10 carries for 40 yards. Dante Johnson, 4 receptions for 62 yards and 1 touchdown. For Indianapolis, Gardner Minshew, 18 for 28, 215 yards, 3 touchdowns. Trey Sherman, 12 carries for 88 yards. Michael Pittman Jr., 4 catches for 78 yards. Herman, who did you have in this game?
Who was playing for the Steelers as the quarterback again? What was his name?
Mitch Trubisky.
Yeah, so of course I picked the Colts. He should be in the league.
he was a little better this game, Herman.
You got a sorry quarterback, and you got a wide receiver that won't block for the running back. Boy, y'all, I don't know what y'all doing in Pittsburgh.
But he got benched, right? Mason Rudolph starting this week's game, eh?
Yeah, and I still ain't picking them. If we pick them, are we picking them again? Please pick them.
I don't think so.
We are.
Yeah, I had that call stuff, and I got this right.
Brian.
Yeah, I was with you, Herman. I picked the Colts in this one. And the most glaring stat that shows is that the Steelers defense gave up 170 rushing yards, which is not Steelers football. So I picked the Colts. I picked it correct.
Marcus.
Yeah, because I also picked the Colts for the same reason Herman picked them, because of Mitch Trubisky. And you talking about giving up running yards. When you only got 33% third down efficiency, you're not on the field long enough. What defense can't hold them down forever. So, yeah, look, it was a terrible game for the Steelers. Feeling sorry for them, but I had to go with who I thought was going to win, and I picked the Colts.
Yeah,
Marcus, keep adding your totals up.
I took the Colts in this one.
Already added my totals up.
I took the Colts in this one too, man. I mean, the Colts was working severely short-handed. No Jonathan Taylor, no Brandon Smith, and then
Moss got hurt in the game.
They lost Zach Moss, and Michael Pittman got injured this game, so they were definitely short-handed. But they forced Steelers the 3 turnovers. So I mean, they did what they do. The only good drive that we had in the game was that early driving. Would you take that off, boy?
No, I wasn't. I'm added up, sir. Added up.
Oh.
The Steelers got absolutely nothing from the offense. Nothing. But I took the Colts on this one. We can move on to the next
Herman.
game.
Hey, Herman. Real quick, Herman. Fantasy, man. I picked up Moss real quick. I said, I'm going to get this. And that fool went out. I said, son of a gun.
Yeah.
But he got me 12 points before he went out.
Yeah.
All right, next game we're going to do is the Broncos taking on the Detroit Lions. The Lions.
Everybody okay over there? Everybody okay over there?
Do we need to call an ambulance?
Yeah, we need to call somebody.
Go ahead, Mark. Y'all, we long-winded enough as it is.
The Lions whipped them 42-17. Stats in this particular game: Russell Wilson, 18 for 32, 223 yards, 1 touchdown. Samaje Perine, 6 carries, 37 yards. Jerry Jeudy, 3 receptions, 74 yards. Jared Goff, 23 for 34, 278 yards, 5 touchdowns. Jahmyr Gibbs, 11 carries for 100 yards, 1 touchdown. Amon-Ra St. Brown, 7 catches, 112 yards for 1 touchdown. This one, I did take the Lions in this one. Man, Jared Goff was on fire, man. He was well protected, and he just ate them up. Russell Wilson early fumbles really got them in trouble, but the Lions just came out and whooped behind on this one. I took the Lions. Marcus, who'd you have?
Yeah, I took the Broncos. I think the Lions should give me credit for their win, because they heard me say that I was off the blue Kool-Aid. And they was like, okay, we're gonna get you back on. So now I'm back on, because they had a heck of a game. The Broncos defense was supposed to be a ferocious defense, and they just like you said, they just let Jared Goff have a field day, 5 touchdowns. That's with only 278 yards.
287.
Yeah, they must have heard me. They came back. So we're gonna make a point this week. So I was glad to see them back, but I picked the Broncos and I was wrong.
Herman.
Yeah, I went with the Broncos on this one too. Actually, I thought their defense would travel better, but it obviously didn't. Detroit's a different beast at home. I will give them their credit. So I'm still not drinking that Kool-Aid, but yep, I picked the Broncos. I got this one wrong. A little ugly out there.
Yeah, well, you can talk about teams being good at home.
Oh yeah, I know, undefeated at home.
Brian.
Yeah, the team at the bottom were the smarter of the two. We both picked the Lions. And, you got to give it up to Sam Laporta, man, the rookie. This dude. Sam Laporta, the rookie tight end, had 3 of those 5 touchdowns. And I would like to give Goff a shout-out for getting me that playoff victory over Maury Calhoun. Get out of here, Calhoun.
You started Goff?
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
Wow.
Wasn't a
Who was
bad
the other
time to
quarterback?
start him, that's for sure. It wasn't
Who was
bad.
What's his name? The Jaguars quarterback and
Lawrence.
Trey
Okay.
and then the Cardinals.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, that was the best play. You played that one right.
Yeah.
It's a gamble. But you paid
Moving
off.
on to the next game we have. The Baltimore Ravens taking on Jacksonville Jaguars. The Baltimore Ravens won it 23-7. Lamar Jackson, 14 for 24, 171 yards passing, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Also, Lamar Jackson, leading rusher, 12 carries, 97 yards. Leading receiver, Isaiah Likely, 5 receptions for 70 yards, 1 touchdown. For the Jacksonville Jaguars, Trevor Lawrence, 25 for 43, 264 yards, 1 touchdown. Their leading rusher was their quarterback, 4 carries for 41 yards. And the leading receiver was Jamal Agnew, 2 receptions for 70 yards and 1 touchdown. Marcus, who'd you have in this one?
Yeah, I definitely picked the Ravens on this one. I fell off to Jacksonville a while ago. They just not doing what I thought they were going to do this year. Doesn't even look like they could not win the division. I think Indianapolis is right behind them or ahead of them. I'm not sure, but it's going to be a race to win the division.
Indianapolis and the Texans.
Okay, so yeah, I mean, we keep saying that the 49ers are the best team in the NFL. But that means the Ravens. That means the Ravens is our number 2, and they're doing very good. And the thing I like is they're not asking. Well, I mean, even though Lamar was leading rusher,
How about what? I know you now. I knew you weren't about to say that.
They're not. I don't feel like they're asking them to do. I mean, I guess they are asking them, but I don't know. I don't feel like it's all on him. I don't feel like it's all on him.
It kind of was.
I don't feel like it's all on him.
You might want to hear them stats Mark just read out. He was the leading rusher too.
He was a leading rusher and passer. Yeah, he's doing a lot. It doesn't seem like that. It doesn't seem like he's doing. They don't really depend on him like that. Our defense is top notch, and it's good. It's always good to have a top notch defense behind it. So yeah, I picked the Ravens, and I was right. Herman.
Everybody's not saying that the 49ers are the best team in the league because I believe the Ravens are right now, in all honesty. I know the 49ers look good and everything, but I just feel like the Ravens are. They're hard to stop. Their run game, 251 yards rushing, and I kind of agree with Marcus. I don't think they're asking Lamar to do a lot of that rushing. I mean, he was the leading rusher, I get it, but that's because of how dynamic he is. He wasn't the leading attempts. Gus Edwards had 16 carries. And Keaton Mitchell had 9 carries for 73 yards. So I mean, they're just when they run the ball, they can't be stopped. That's what it looks like. Who was the running back that got hurt? What was his name?
It was Mitchell, wasn't it?
That was it, Mitchell. Okay, because if Mitchell hadn't got hurt, he would have been the leading rusher. That dude was fast.
And let's not forget, Gus Edwards had 16 carries for 50.
Yeah, he had 16 carries. So that's why I said I'm agreeing with Marcus that I don't think they're necessarily asking Lamar to do as much, take the load of the rushing. I just think that when he does rush, he's just getting big chunks.
Yeah, he's just hell of effective.
But I picked the Ravens, and I can't wait to pick them against the 49ers because I think they're going to beat them.
So we're not there yet, sir.
Sorry, just giving a preview. Sorry, my bad.
I mean,
I am the one who's going to be wearing this, so you might.
We should be there because it's 9:00. But
yeah, you're right. So yeah, I picked the Ravens and I got it right. Long-winded dudes.
Yeah, I took the Ravens also, man. Ravens just imposed their will on them. That's all they needed to do, and they dominated. The miscues all the way across the board for the Jaguars was costing the game. So I took the Ravens on it. Brian, who'd you have?
Yeah, I had the Ravens, and you guys, everything you said is true, man. And the defense turned them over. Got 2 fumbles. How many sacks they got on them? I just lost my space. 3 sacks on that game. So the defense chipped in, and Lamar did his thing, all of it. But it's whatever.
We didn't get to the
really have
game
to do
yet,
this
man.
game.
I just have to get this on now, because
I know, man. You could let me finish what I had to say. God.
He said
The
you
last
finished
game
long
we
with
have,
Right, long-winded. I'm trying to cut you down, buddy.
the last game we have is the Philadelphia Eagles taking on the Seattle Seahawks. The Seahawks won it 20-17.
Who won again?
Stats in this game. What's that? What's wrong?
Who won again?
He's being. Don't pay him no attention, Mark. Just keep going.
Philadelphia's Jalen Hurts, 17 for 31, 143 yards, 2 interceptions. Jalen Hurts, the leading rusher, 13 carries, 82 yards, 2 touchdowns. Leading receiver, A.J. Brown, 5 receptions for 56 yards. For the Seattle Seahawks, Drew Lock, 22 for 33, 208 yards, 1 touchdown. Kenneth Walker III, 19 carries, 18 yards, 1 touchdown. DK Metcalf, 5 receptions for 78 yards. I'll go first on this one. I did take the Eagles. I was wrong. Luck was a game time decision in this game, man. We didn't know he was going to start until right before the game. But
it wasn't really a game time.
Yes,
really
he was.
He was.
They didn't.
No,
They didn't announce it.
No, he wasn't a game time.
He was.
They didn't announce this until close to the game time, fellas.
He took all the snaps. There was a question if what's the name was going to play or not, but initially it was supposed to be him starting.
Okay,
anyway, he didn't. He wasn't expected to start.
Yes, he was. That's the thing. He was expected to start.
Right.
Okay.
Can y'all start correcting us when we get through this?
Well, he's wrong.
We'll put it in the chat.
This is live. We can't be.
The fourth quarter is when the Eagles was doomed. Those questionable interceptions that Hurts threw, it really was the dagger for him. But I took the Eagles and I lost this one. Brian, who'd you have in it?
Yeah, I also had the Eagles, and I ain't gonna lie, I'm really happy seeing that dude up there wearing that hat. I ain't gonna lie, it's a special win. I'm glad I was wrong on this one. And like you said, Mark, the 2 interceptions were like a dagger. That 1 interception, that dude was on one side of the field, ran all the way to the other side, got the pick, and still kept his feet in bounds. Yeah. That was amazing. Amazing. You got to give it to the Seahawks. You know that Philadelphia has never beat the Seahawks under their current head coach, the old guy, whatever his name is.
Really?
I think he's like 8-0 or 9-0. Pete Carroll.
He's like 8-0 against them or something. Yeah.
Against the Eagles. So die Eagles die. Yeah. I picked the Eagles. I picked it wrong.
Marcus,
you want to call me?
Yeah, I try to wait. I try to wait till Mark calls me. I try to be.
I know.
So yeah, obviously, I picked the Eagles as well. I was thinking they were going to have they weren't going to lose 3 in a row. I don't think I was wrong. I'm gonna blame. Before the game, they kept talking about was Jalen Hurts going to have a Michael Jordan game because Michael Jordan the flu, and it was obvious it was a not. It was a no. It was a no, and those 2 interceptions really did hurt him. He got to get that under control. Got to get under control. But after the 49ers went on a 3-game losing streak, they came back strong. So we'll see how that works out.
Yeah, Darren, you're right on that interception counter. Hurts 12, Dak 7.
I don't see that coming. I don't see that coming anywhere.
Since Marcus don't want to put it up.
I don't see that coming anywhere.
We acknowledge you, Darian. I
don't see that coming anywhere. Wait, I don't see it. Look at that.
Anyway. All right, how do you guys do with the picks for the week?
Yeah, whatever. Can I get my music, please?
Hold on. You want to act up?
God.
See, it knew he was coming.
Ain't gonna work.
Herman.
Is it working?
I really hate when someone gets a lone wolf right.
Let me start off by saying,
don't be long-winded.
I'm kind of disappointed to be wearing this hat just because my Cowboys cohort, he didn't join me in this.
I know.
I tried to tell y'all, and I gave y'all the most logic, which was the 49ers had just went on a 3-game losing streak, and the Eagles were playing way worse than them. It was coming. I didn't even know about the streak that Carroll had against the Eagles when I picked them. Seattle they're hard to beat at home. And Seattle's actually a better team than what they're showing on the field. And I think Philly is not as good as everybody has been pumping them up to be. I'm not going to crap on Jalen Hurts. He went out there. Actually, I am. He went out there, and he threw 2 picks. If you was too sick to play, son, you should have sat down and let Mariota play. Okay? All right? You come out there and he tried to play hero ball, and we see what happened. I love it. The Eagles fans had so much to say about the Cowboys getting beat. And one thing you better learn is don't talk till your team plays, because this is the NFL. Anybody can win any week. So
I think you're being a hypocrite, sir. Y'all always talking.
Oh, no, I don't talk until my team is playing.
We don't talk yet. Yeah, because of that same reason.
Exactly.
They come right back at you.
Exactly. I learned my lesson. But, I picked the Seahawks. I'm going to cut it off because I know we over. But,
But Herman, but just talk about the center moving the ball.
Oh yeah, I mean, all this stuff is coming out now about them.
Jason Kelce.
Yeah, about this with this tush push stuff. This thing has to get banned. It's just too much stuff.
He's just doing his job.
They say he's been doing that all season long. That's not his job.
Why ain't get caught? If he been doing all season long,
because nobody's been paying enough attention to it. Now they're looking at the whole tush push now because now they're looking at the line.
So you think he got an advantage by doing that for the tush push?
Come on, that tush push gets you like 3 or 4 yards every time. Come on, that ain't him just moving the ball.
That's part of what he moves the ball half a yard. Yeah, why is he do it? Because
no other center in the NFL doing it. If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. Okay.
Yeah, so it's just all coming out. They're falling apart. Hurts is at the stand. He doesn't know how to talk to the media when they lose. Yeah. But I ain't got no.
But who cares about what Bill tells you? The quarterback of the Philadelphia Eagles sound off like you got to pay.
If you're gonna be a quarterback and you're gonna take the limelight when you win, stand up there.
You acting like he be doing a whole bunch when they do it.
Take it like a man when you lose.
He's doing the same thing when they win.
Marcus, you saw he didn't shake. You saw he didn't shake Locke's hand.
Because he didn't shake any of the Cowboys' hands either. He ran off the field.
Yeah.
And he's friends with CeeDee Lamb. He's friends with CeeDee Lamb and didn't even go talk to him.
Them dudes' hands.
So
he didn't want his sickness to get
him his
cold. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, he wasn't giving the flu.
Yeah, heaven forbid they've been tackling and laying all over him the whole freaking game, but now he wants to be worried about germs.
I did pick the Seahawks and I did get this right, so
had his hand underneath his cheating center's butt.
Oh, time to turn the tassel.
That's my thing. Don't do my thing. That's
my professor. Just call me Professor Herman.
Real quick, how did y'all do this week? I was 4-2.
I was 5-2.
5-1, baby.
If I was smart and stuck with Herman, I would have been 6-0.
5-1, baby.
4-2.
All right, so we're gonna get into the games the picks for next week. We got the first game, the New Orleans Saints taking on the LA Rams. The Rams giving up a favorite 4 points on this one. 7-7 against 7-7. Herman, who'd you got in this one?
I'm going with the hot team right now, and that's the Rams. I hope that the Saints can go ahead and beat them because I don't think I want the Rams in the playoffs right now. So give me the Rams.
Yeah, I'm agree with you, man. The Rams are hot right now, going into December. Yeah, I'm taking the Rams too. Brian?
We're all in accord. The predictors giving the Rams.
I haven't went, so we're not all in accord, sir.
I'm talking about so far. And you know you're going with the Rams. Stop acting like a girl.
Right.
Matter of fact, I'll start telling y'all who Marcus is going to pick, okay? Marcus ain't even say it. But I'm going with the Rams. Like Herman said, they hot right now. And that little running back is lighting it up.
Yes, he is. Marcus.
I'm going with the Rams.
He wants a lone wolf, but he ain't bold enough to do it on that one.
For the same reason, you guys, they're hot right now, and they've been looking real good. So I'm going with the Rams. Saints are garbage.
All right, next game. Both teams are fighting for their playoff lives. You got the 8-6 Bengals giving up going 2.5 points favorite at the Steelers. 7-7. Brian, who you got in this one?
You said Mason Rudolph is starting?
Yeah, it wouldn't matter.
What do you mean it doesn't matter? Of course it matters, man. This is Tomlin. This is that Steelers way. This is at home. This has the Bengals getting a nod at 59%. I'm also going with the Bengals. I just messing with y'all for a little bit. Give me the Bengals.
Herman,
If there's even a possibility that Trash Biscuit can get into this game, I'm not picking the Steelers. I'm sorry, Mark. Give me the Bengals. I believe in Browning, Jake Browning. I need
Marcus?
him in my fantasy this week too.
You know, I'm also going with the Bengals. Sorry, Mark, but I think Brian's on fire. Mason Rudolph ain't gonna be able to do it, so I'm going with the Bengals.
and Mason, we don't trust. I'm taking the Bengals too.
Wow, it's bad when you can't even loan wolf your own team.
I'm taking the Bengals. All right, next game we
Don't
got
wear the
Chicago
merchandise
Bears.
if you're not gonna go with them, Mark. Okay.
Chicago Bears.
If you ain't gonna pick your squad, don't go with go merch your merchandise.
The Cleveland Browns 9-5, taking on the Houston Texans 8-6. Texans 2.5 favorite in this one. I'm gonna take the Texans in this one. Give me the Texans. Marcus, who you got?
You know, I would agree with you, but no CJ Stroud. Browns looking good. Joe Flacco's looking good. Browns got that defense. I'm going to go with the Browns.
Brian?
Yeah, the predictor has the Texans at 51%. I didn't know CJ Stroud wasn't playing. I am changing mine right now.
He's still in
Oh,
concussion
okay.
protocol, am I right?
I'm with Marcus.
Yeah.
I'm going with the Browns.
I think he is still in the concussion protocol.
Herman, who you got?
I didn't know Stroud wasn't playing either, but I'm picking the Texans because I think that Joe Flacco is about to come back down to earth, and he's going to have a bad game. And the Texans defense is going to take advantage of that. And they're at home. Give me the Texans.
Smart man.
I won't leave you out there by yourself, Mark.
Smart man. All right, next game we got is the New England Patriots 3-11 at the fighting Denver Broncos, trying to fight for their playoff lives. 7-7. Broncos are 6.5 points favorite. Marcus, who you got in this one?
Yeah, I'm sticking with the Broncos again this week. I don't really have much faith in the Patriots. I think the Broncos will bounce back from that defeat last week. I'm going with the Broncos.
I am too taking the Broncos in this one. Herman, who you got?
I'm going with the Broncos. Patriots. I think the Broncos will bounce back, and after Sean Payton chewed out Russell Wilson like that, they have no choice but to win this game. Give me the Broncos.
And Brian.
Yeah, the predictor has the Broncos at 66%. Which quarterback is playing? Is it Zappy?
I think
it's Zappy.
Okay.
It ain't what's his name? It ain't Matt whatever.
Okay, yeah, it doesn't matter. I'm going with the Broncos too.
It doesn't matter who's starting.
All right. Next game we got Marcus. Did I take you, Marcus? Did I
What?
take you?
Yeah.
Did
Yeah,
you
you took
make
Yeah,
a pick?
you got me. You got me.
All right. Next game we got the 10-4 Cowboys taking on the Miami Dolphins. The Dolphins favorite 1.5 points on this. They're playing in Miami. Marcus, who you got in this one?
This one was hard to pick. Dolphins are 10-4, same rate as the Cowboys. But at least the Cowboys can say they beat somebody with a winning record. Dolphins still haven't beat anybody with a winning record. So I'm still gonna take the Dolphins though. I'm picking the Dolphins.
Because you're a hater, of course.
You think they're gonna get their win of a winning record this week?
Not really, but I'm still picking Dolphins.
What's the Cowboys?
I don't have
what's
a
the
lot of faith in
Cowboys
the
record
Dolphins.
away from home?
Not
3 and 4.
Not good.
3-4 away from home,
Yeah.
and y'all still undefeated at home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm taking the Dolphins. Brian,
I don't even know why we went through this recipe. We all knew we were going to split. We knew we were going to have two haters and then two people. But to be honest with you, these two teams basically mirror each other. It comes
No, they
down to
don't.
scoring on. Yes, they do. When they play offense, they put up a lot of points, and the defense sacks the quarterback. If they can't put up a lot of points, the defense can boost the quarterback, and the game becomes tight. So most of the time, these teams blow their opponent out because they're able to get up by 2 or 3 points. So whoever gets up by like 2 touchdowns is probably going to win this game. But I think the Cowboys are going to go up by 2 touchdowns. So give me my boys.
Herman.
Cowboys all the way, baby. Brian said enough. We can move to the next one. 2 haters pick the Dolphins.
Last game we got is the 11-3 Baltimore Ravens taking on the 11-3 49ers. This could be a preview of the Super Bowl, y'all.
Yeah, that's what Vince said.
49ers.
So Cowboys and Dolphins.
No, that's
Go ahead,
not.
Mark.
That ain't happening. Herman, who you got in
Pick a
this
team.
Did you forget you were hosting the show? I told y'all. I already told y'all who I'm picking in this one. I think the best team in the league is the Ravens. I'm picking the Ravens. Give me the Ravens.
Marcus?
This one I had to do a coin toss. I don't know why I do the coin. It always picks the freaking home team anyway. So I'm going. I picked the 49ers. I'm going with the 49ers.
For some reason, man, I'm drinking the purple Kool-Aid. I think the Ravens are going to go out there and surprise the 49ers, man. I'm taking the Ravens. Brian, who you got?
This is like the Super Bowl before where the lights went out in New Orleans, but like Marcus said, it was tough. I didn't flip a coin. I just picked the home team. Give me the Niners.
Okay.
All
split
right,
them out.
split. Mark took away my lone wolf.
He sure did.
Yeah. All right. Good show, yo. Good show. We went a little bit over the time period.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Hey, put that back up, Marcus, what Darian just put down.
Which was
Underdog.
He's basically saying that the Ravens are probably going to win this game.
Yep.
He just saying that because they hit it too.
No, he's not hating. He's a realist like his dad.
Interesting. Yeah. All right, so our final thoughts. This is the almost we got 2 more weeks, man, and it'll be 2024. Any final thoughts for you guys for end of the show? Anybody?
There's an obvious one, Mark. There's an obvious one.
Yeah, I just wanted to wish everybody a Merry Christmas.
Yes. Merry Christmas,
you
everyone.
won't see us until
Merry Christmas.
after Christmas pass. We hope all that your wishes and dreams come true and that you have a very, very Merry Christmas.
No coals in the stockings. So
yeah, no Coles.
No,
Cowboys
no
win as always.
You know, I'm a hater, so I don't wish that all your wishes and dreams come true. Maybe just some of them.
all right, hater, take us out of here.
Yeah.
Yeah, Herman, did you have anything to say?
I mean, I'll just reiterate the same thing. Merry Christmas to everybody. Enjoy the holidays and enjoy your family.
Yeah, same thing. Wish y'all a Merry Christmas. And a Merry Christmas. Before we get out of here, I want to encourage everyone to like, share, and subscribe, especially if you're watching on YouTube. You can catch us on Facebook and our Facebook group, The Layer Game. We're on Twitter /X at The Layer Game 3 and on Instagram at The Official Delay of Game. Speaking of which, when was the last time there's been a post on our Instagram page? Carmen.
When was the last time there was something on our Twitter page? Yeah. I think there's actually some more updated stuff on Instagram than there is Twitter.
But we will see
We're
y'all.
focusing on you, not us, not me.
We'll see y'all next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. Peace. Merry Christmas.
Peace. Merry Christmas.
Go Cowboys.